Adam, the Whitehair Master. Episode 4. The Miserable Ghost. Pawn Milk Tea House. I called Adam and asked him out at a milk tea house. He bombarded me with questions about why I called him out in that hurry and why I didn't come to the office that day. Something came after me. I had intended to tease him that I have merely missed him, but he looked so severe. Of course, I had work to do every day, but I had to take a day off to come to see Adam. I had found a big deal for him. A landlord asked him to chase the spirits out of their place. He had promised me that he would pay us well if we could expel all the ghosts out. After hearing I got a deal, he cautiously replied to me with a very annoyed tone of voice. He reminded me that he wasn't a sorta take advantage of his ability. I got annoyed with his reaction. That was obviously how he makes a living and why he spoke to me like that, but seeing his unhappy face, I stepped back. I was afraid he didn't want me to be involved in his job later on. I said sorry to him and received that was my fault. I promised him there would be no other time I made that quick decision without told him beforehand and tried to release his tension. I tried to convince Adam to come to our customer's place since I already took the deal. I didn't think the customer was lying or something. There was a ghost at that place and need his help. I convinced him to come by and check, then he could decide whether he takes the deal or not later. I briefly told Adam what happened to the customer. There was a woman ghost in his house. The customer was one of my colleague's father. His father lives in a small town in North Province. A landlord has houses for rent. One of the renters was a 3-member family. They were living happily in harmony. They were very kind-hearted to the others as well. They helped others in the neighborhood out if needed, and sometimes they cooked and shared the food with the neighbors. One day, there was an incident that happened to the family. People said that the wife in the family had been caught in an affair. After some intense arguments, the family could not keep their harmony anymore. The husband took the boy and left the wife all alone at the rented house. Then, the wife cried her eyes out multiple times. In days, no one saw her out. My colleague's father felt not good. He came to check on her. The door was unlocked. He knocked on the door a few times, but no one answered. So he pushed the door and stepped into the house. He was frightened by the scene in front of him. The wife had hung herself. After a few seconds of standing there frozen, he called the police and reported the suicide case. After that particular day, many people came to see the house and asked for rent. But everyone got shit out of them and moved out after a few days because they saw that scary woman. I told Adam with my mixed emotions on the face, tried to express as serious as I could and hoped that would be informative enough to Adam so that he could come to that place with me. Adam guessed there were 2 possibilities. 1. She was trapped there and unable to go out of the house. 2. She had something she was unable to finish. She didn't want to leave until everything is clear. So she scared people out. Even if they had guts, no one would dare to rent that house. I knew I was a bit overexpressed on my face when telling him, but I have told Adam the whole truth, so he has believed me. I was delighted when seeing Adam trusted in what I have told him. I asked him if he wanted to see the house and check what the ghost woman want. But all of a sudden, Adam stared at me and asked me if I took the money yet from our customer. I told Adam the fact that I have received money from the customer already. I was afraid that Adam could misunderstand me for keeping all the money for my own, so I tended to transfer all the money to him instantly. I love following him to see his special abilities more than money. Out of the blue, Adam asked me to keep the money. First, he asked me to come to the house where the ghost girl instantly checked. After he finished talking, he picked his bag up and walked out of the milk tea house. I quickly had left money on the table for our drinks and ran after him. At that moment, Adam already took a cab outside. We stepped into the cab and came to my colleague's father's place. He had given the address to me already. We reached the place and saw the door was unlocked, but we called from the door politely for Uncle Oliver, my colleague's father. Uncle Oliver was likely to guess we came by that day. He asked if we came regarding his son, Jackson's request. I told Uncle Oliver that I was Jackson's co-worker and introduced Adam to him, who could help him out. Uncle Oliver told Adam that he wanted to settle everything down as quickly as possible. He was very grateful for seeing Adam come by. He was making a living by those rented houses and didn't want to be a burden to his son. He was in that unfortunate situation for months. His life was getting worse since then. Adam agreed and comforted Uncle Oliver that he would try his best to help him out. He wanted to check around, so he stepped straight into the house. Uncle Oliver and I came after him. There were lots of houses in the area. But after a round of walking, Adam stood in front of a house and stared at it with a severe face. Even though Uncle Oliver didn't tell him which one yet, I asked him how he could spot it out. Adam explained that he could feel the angry aura in the house, but I could not feel anything. The extraordinary ability indeed came to the particular one. Adam came closer to the house and opened the door. I came close after him. There was just emptiness in the house, not much stuff, just some basic furniture inside. I asked him if he wanted to pour the flowers around there as the previous times to trace the dirty things in the house, but he replied that he wouldn't do that. I looked around and got a bit scared. I gazed up to the ceiling. There was a big roof beam there, and that might be where the woman hung herself. Adam looked around and told me that I had to stay overnight inside that scary house. It made the hairs on the back of my neck all stood up then. I was thunderstruck by his words. He asked Uncle Oliver to let us stay overnight inside that scary house while I was in a daze. Until Uncle Oliver said that we could be his guests there. Adam left Uncle Oliver's place after told him that we had work to do, and assured that we would get back to his place at night. I stepped after him. After leaving the house a long distance, I asked Adam why he decided to stay overnight, how I could sleep there at that scary place. Adam calmly replied that everything was going to be okay then, but how could I have a good sleep at night in that scary house? Then all in due time, I had to sleep in that house. I haven't seen Adam in the afternoon and finally could see him at night time. Adam assured me that I could have a good sleep that night, and told me not to worry that much. How I could believe him. But I was terrified about how I could sleep well. What would I do when the ghost came out then? But deep down, I got a little excited. I knew I witnessed his gifted abilities another time. Adam told me that I should pray for the ghost to come out that night, or I had to stay at that place another night or some more nights. That made me both really nervous and frightening thought. Eventually, I hoped the ghost came out shortly. I got a mixture of feeling inside me. Seeing Adam nearly left me there without any advice so that I could self-defend, I called him and asked for teaching me an incantation. Adam teased me that I had watched so many films, and though the movie scene would come to real life, he asked me to hit the sack. After leaving, he left me at the scary house all alone. What a good friend. I had to close the door and not think about the ghost. I went to bed, covered my body with the blanket, but was unable to go to sleep. I could not stop thinking and imagining about that stuff, then was scared of those imagined things. I kept my eyes gazed at the ceiling where the woman hung herself. I knew I was such a scaredy cat, but it was unexplainable how come I got sweat all over my body. All my hairs on the back of my neck stood up at that moment. After a while of staring at the ceiling, I finally could pass out. While drowsily sleeping in the middle of the night, I have been awakened by the water flow sound. Something was falling to my body. My eyes were too heavy to open. I got a bit sober, and I could sense something weird there. I tried to wide open my eyes, but it was very hard for me. But right now, I opened my eyes. What I have seen in front of me woke me up totally. Legs were swinging in front of me, and water from those legs dropped to my body. I shouted out. The woman was there, hanging herself to the ceiling. She was staring at me with her demonic eyes and a horror face. I shouted aloud and pulled the blanket as well as my whole body to the bedhead. The demonic woman came closer and closer to me. She put her tongue out. That was the most extended tongue I have ever seen in my life, and her face was horrifying, so I nearly got shit out of me. She continued to come closer to me, her demonic face nearly stick right on my face. At that moment, I wasn't able to breathe nor yelled out for help. My throat was like being stuck. I was short out of breath for every second that passed by and every inch she got close to me. Right after I tended to close my eyes up and welcome the Grim Reaper to take my life away, the door was opened violently. That was Adam. He rushed inside as quick as an arrow. At that moment, I was like being a stroke of luck, but I was able to speak up to him. My throat was released already. I yelled out and gazed at Adam for help. I saw Adam was cross-handed, looked like he was performing some kinda ritual. He mumbles something, his face turned to very serious. He pointed his fingers towards the ghost afterward. The woman ghost had been tossed away out of bed and my sight. She hit the wall as if there was a strong invisible power had attacked her. Adam started to interrogate her. He asked why she still was there and threatening innocent people. The ghost told him that she wanted to be there because that was her house. She thought that her husband and her son would come back to her one day, so she didn't want the others to live in her home. Adam told her with his confident and arrogant tone of voice as usual. If the ghost woman still keeps being around there and try to hurt people, he would make her spirit fade away forever. He reminded her that she was dead already and didn't belong to that place anymore. The woman was very scared of Adam, but she was so determined. She didn't want to leave since she wanted to wait for her family to get back to her. She tore out. I didn't know if that was her trick. Her tears a bit touched me, but not Adam. He always put his guard up. He continued to ask her why she had an affair when she already had a happy family. If she really loved her family as she told us, she wouldn't do that. That was all because of her choice. After hearing Adam's words, she objected to all of that. She said that she had been sexually assaulted, and she started to told us what happened. She was a secretary at a big company, so she had to come to see the customers very often, and was unable to avoid parties. One time, when meeting with a customer, she had been forced to drink a lot. Then she passed out, and that damn customer took her to a hotel. Then, what shouldn't happen had been happened. That man had sexually assaulted her while she was in a deep drunk, and then the husband found out everything. He misunderstood that she had an affair behind his back, so they had argued, divorced, and he took the son away. After hearing her sad story, Adam and I immensely sympathized with her. However, Adam still keeps reminding her that she had to accept that she died already. She had to move on, came to her afterlife, and shouldn't threaten people. The ghost promised that she would leave this life once her wish was made. She wanted to see her son one last time and beg us to help her out. I felt the sting and salt of tears welling up in my eyes. That woman's life was so miserable, so I convinced Adam to help her to finish her last wish. Adam drowned to his thoughts a while. Then he glared at me, asked me to come to borrow Uncle Oliver an umbrella, and hurry back then. I disappeared from the house and brought the umbrella back shortly. Adam opened the umbrella and told the ghost to hide inside. Then I could see a miracle thing. The woman had turned into a cloud of smoke and flew inside the umbrella in Adam's hands. After then, I saw Adam took a red rope out of his bag. He tied it around the umbrella. Then we gave Uncle Oliver a goodbye and left his place. Before leaving, Adam told Uncle Oliver that he could let his house for rent as usual. That day, we split up. I back to my house and had a very good sleep. The following day, I met Adam at a primary school when kids head home after classes. We looked a bit weird at that time. It was not raining nor too much shining above, but Adam walked by me and held an umbrella. He walked on the right, there was a space in between us. Adam told me that woman was walking under the umbrella, but I was unable to see her. After classes, kids were picked up by their parents. We found a boy who came towards a man in the crowd. Those were who we were looking for. I felt a cold breeze next to me. I looked at the umbrella and saw black smoke flew out under. Adam could sense her weird behavior. I thought and reminded the woman that she wasn't able to come out in the daylight. Right after the two family members left, Adam holds the umbrella and followed them. I stepped after them as well. The boy suddenly stopped. The father asked what happened to him. The little boy told his father he heard his mother's voice. His mother was calling him. The father looked around and said that he didn't hear anything. I guessed the woman really called the little boy out, and that was likely the connection between the mother and the son. We followed them for a long distance on the street until reaching a crossroad. They turned and disappeared. Adam stopped by. Adam looked at the umbrella and told her that her final wish had been made already. She should leave this world in peace. Then Adam took me under a bridge nearby. He put the umbrella to the ground. I curiously asked him did he left the umbrella on the ground to help her go to her afterlife. Adam calmly told me that someone would come to pick her up real quick to the life portal. Adam told me that he had works to do, so we had to split up there. At that moment, there was only one thing I need to finish up. I wanted to find the bad guy who trapped the woman in and teach him a lesson. I came by his place. All of the tragedy began because of him, how he could just live his life in peace. I picked up a random brick in the road. That was not a good idea. But if he had powers and money to cover up all of his illegal actions, I wanted to be a hand of God in that case. When I picked the brick up and ran towards that man, I saw Adam was in the opposite direction and was holding a brick just like me. That was surprised me. I thought he would never act like me in any situation. We hit the bricks on our hands to that son of the bitch, then ran away for our life. That man held his head, which was bleeding, and yelled aloud for his security guys to caught us. I asked Adam afterward why he would do that, why he would choose the stupid solution like me. He replied that he simply wanted to be a hand of God. We all gave that poor woman our sympathy and wanted to come after that man for justice. We could escape from that day, luckily. After then, we had to stay home a few weeks to come out of our house confidently, but afterward, I felt like Adam and I became better friends with each other.